Good afternoon, this is Quays News at 3 o'clock. I'm Freya Johnson.
And I'm Kira Aston. Our top stories today. Thousands of homes in the Deansgate area lost power last night for the third time in 3 weeks. Some homes' power has been restored, but the wider incident is still ongoing.
Train services won't be running across several weekends this year at Salford Crescent train station, whilst a third platform is being built.
Salford and Trafford councils are discussing plans to create new employment spaces, pumping millions of pounds into the area and creating thousands of new jobs.
I had the pleasure of attending Salford Red Devils Media Day yesterday. Following a recent statement from the club, the future of the Red Devils is in doubt. I'll be talking more about this later on in the show.
"100 homes in Deansgate were hit by a power cut, with the incident running into today. Among those, the worst was the Great Northern Tower. Properties in and around Deansgate were left with no power from 7 p.m. last night, and there is still ongoing issues today.
Power outages in the area have gone down for the third time in 3 weeks, with residents left frustrated.
Earlier, our reporter Lily Mae Cooper was at the location of the cuts.
It's looking busy down here in Deansgate in Manchester city centre after the power outage last night, which caused hundreds of homes to go without lighting and electricity. Companies down here are working hard to restore the power with hopes that it will be restored by midday today. However, people are not completely sure that will happen.
Thanks, Lily, and we should add that since this report, according to Electricity North West, the incident has been resolved and power has been restored in the area.
Axel Rudder is set to be sentenced later today.
He's pleaded guilty to 16 charges, including the murder of 3 young girls and the attempted murder of 10 other people at a dance class in Southport last July.
The hearing began this morning at 11 a.m. However, Rudder was forcibly removed after interrupting and shouting to the courtroom that he is ill.
Proceedings continued, with the prosecution claiming the attacks were premeditated and that Rudder only purpose was to kill. He targeted young girls intentionally and even told police he was glad children had died whilst under arrest. Salford Crescent train station is under development at the moment as a third platform is being added. Our reporter Alyssa Tyler has more on what is happening and how this may affect you.
Ready. We're here today at Salford Crescent train station, where work is currently underway for a new and improved platform. Network Rail are investing £21 million to build an additional platform so it will improve passenger flow and reduce train delays. However, due to this new development, there may be road closures around the area, as well as the train station being closed for several weekends between March and September 2025.
Operation plans are being discussed to create thousands of new jobs in the Salford and Trafford area by pumping millions of pounds into the city to create new employment areas.
Salford Council are predicting that the work will create more than 5,000 jobs and provide a £6.4 million cash injection through business rates.
And a separate development in the Old Trafford football ground area is being discussed that could be the biggest sports development project the nation has ever seen, potentially creating 5,000 homes initially with a potential 12 million more and billions in revenue.
This project will see Old Trafford undergoing serious renovations if not being rebuilt. Salford Council's Cabinet will be meeting on the 28th of January to endorse the move. Now let's head over to Molly with the sport.
Thanks, Kira. It's been a turbulent week for the Red Devils, with the whispers that the club may be on the brink of extinction. However, following breaking news today, the RFL have confirmed that Super League clubs have been made aware of Salford's takeover optimism, and an unknown group from overseas has made an approach to purchase the Red Devils and rescue the iconic club from the financial hole they are in. Following this hopeful news, the Red Devils had their media day yesterday in our own Media City building. The players spent the day showing off their new kits whilst filming social media content for the upcoming Super League season, which begins February 13th. Following the club's statement, which was released last week regarding their financial position, the RFL has issued a sustainability cap of £1.2 million to Salford, and the club is now prohibited from registering players from the upcoming season. Both the players and staff are bound by non-disclosure agreements upon the matter, and therefore we were not allowed to talk about the situation with the players yesterday. But a press conference is due within the next few weeks to get a clearer understanding of what is happening with the club. Nevertheless, even with the uncertainty about the players' situations for this year, they still posed, danced and played ping pong all day long with smiles on their faces. The Red Devils are set to play St Helens this Saturday for a pre-season friendly match at the Totally Wicked Stadium to celebrate Morgan Knowles' testimonial. And now over to Zara talking about the latest football news.
Thanks, Molly. Let's start with Manchester City. And what a brutal defeat last night for them in the Champions League. They were crushed 4-2 by Paris Saint-Germain, having taken a 2-0 lead in the Parc des Princes. The defeat leaves City needing nothing less than a victory in their final qualifier against the club, Bruges, next week at the Etihad. Here's City boss Pep Guardiola. Meanwhile, better news for City.
So we have the last chance at home against Bruges. We will do everything there. And if it's not, it's because we don't deserve it.
Meanwhile, better news for City on the transfer front. City have agreed to sign Egyptian attacker Omar Marmoush from Eintracht Frankfurt for £59 million. Tonight, and thousands of Rangers fans have descended on Old Trafford for their Europa League qualifier against Manchester United. 4,000 Glaswegians will be in the stadium and many, many more are just enjoying the atmosphere outside. Meanwhile, better news on the transfer front. City have agreed terms to sign Egyptian attacker Omar Marmoush from Eintracht Frankfurt for £59 million. Tonight, and thousands of Rangers have descended on Old Trafford for their Europa League qualifier against Manchester United. 4,000 Glaswegians will be in the stadium and many, many more to enjoy the atmosphere outside.
Thank you, Zara and Molly. And finally, fancy some theatre?
Well, you're in luck because Salford's very own Almost Famous is bringing Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest to the New Adelphi Theatre this weekend.
Our reporter Will Upton has more on this story.
Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest comes to the New Adelphi this weekend. With the show currently going through tech rehearsals, we spoke to Aoife Schofield, who plays Cecily in the production, and found out more.
So The Importance of Being Earnest is a play originally written by Oscar Wilde, and it's about two men called Algernon and Jack, and they basically have to discover the importance of being earnest. They're both pretending to be earnest in order to fall in love with Cecily and Gwendolyn, and it's ultimately a play about, you know, overcoming the trivialities of life. I mean, I love it for the reason of just how light-hearted it is and how it is also kind of a break from reality, because while it is a periodic piece, it's also kind of not fully historically accurate, because you have those comedic moments, you have those risks about, you know, getting caught out of your social class. The comedy just basically is a break from the stressful reality that is today. Tickets are still available on the New Adelphi website, or you can go onto the LinkedIn on our Instagram. And the shows are Friday, which is tomorrow, and there is 2 on Saturday, a matinee and an evening show. So please buy a ticket and come and see it.
We now go to Will with the weather.
Thank you, girls. It was gold now, but it's not anymore. Clouds have covered it. With the weather, you can expect winds of up to 55 miles per hour tomorrow morning at around 10 o'clock, and it's relatively sunny, which is good news. You can still wrap up warm tomorrow night though, if you're planning on going out, as I know many of you probably will be. In regards to tonight, however, you can expect temperatures to decrease from 5 degrees down to 2 degrees, and then from midnight onwards you can expect rainfall. There will be slight travel disruptions, including rail and bus transportation. And I believe that's everything, so back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Will, for that weather update. Now that's all from us today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.